Herr, Fix It Up by the Brothers Grimm. Fix It Up had been a soldier for a long time. When the war came to an end, however, and there was nothing but the same old things to do every day, he resigned from the army and decided to become a servant for a great lord. There would be clothes trimmed with gold, a lot to do, and always new things happening. So he set out on his way and came to a foreign court, where he saw a lord taking a walk in the garden. Fix It Up did not hesitate. He moved briskly over to the lord and said, "Sir, I'm looking for employment with a great lord. If your majesty is himself such a person, it would give me great pleasure to serve you. There's nothing I don't know or can't do. I know just how to carry out orders, no matter how they are given." "Fine, my son," the lord said. "I'd be pleased to have you. First tell me, what do I desire right now?" Without answering, Fix It Up spun around, rushed away, and returned with a pipe and tobacco. "Fine, my son. You are hired as my servant. But now I'm going to command you to get Princess Namini, the most beautiful maiden in the world. I want to have her for my wife." "All right," said Fix It Up. "That's a trifle for me. Your majesty shall soon have her. Just give me a coach drawn by 6 horses, a coachman, guards, couriers, servants, and a cook, all in full dress. I myself must have princely garments, and everyone must obey my command." Soon they departed. Fix It Up, the servant, sat inside the coach, which headed straight towards the beautiful princess's court. When the road came to an end, they drove into a field and soon reached the edge of a large forest filled with many thousands of birds. A boisterous song soared splendidly into the blue air. "Stop, stop!" exclaimed Fix It Up. "Don't disturb the birds. They are praising their creator and will serve me some other time. Let's go to the left." So the coachman had to turn and drive around the forest. Soon after, they came to a large field where close to 1,000 million ravens were sitting and crying shrilly for food. "Stop, stop!" exclaimed Fix It Up. "Untie one of the horses way up front, lead it into the field and slaughter it so the ravens can eat. I don't want them to suffer from hunger." After the ravens had eaten, the journey continued, and they came to a pond with a fish in it that was moaning and groaning. "For God's sake, I have nothing to eat in this terrible swamp. Throw me into a running river, and I'll repay your deed one day." Before the fish could even finish speaking, Fix It Up had exclaimed, "Stop, stop! Cook, put the fish in your apron. Coachman, drive to a running river." Fix It Up himself got out and threw the fish into the water, and the fish flapped its tail in joy. "Now, get the horses going," said Fix It Up. "We must arrive at the destination spot this evening." When he reached the royal residence, he drove straight to the best inn, where the innkeeper and all his people came out and welcomed him in their best manners, thinking that a foreign king had arrived, though it was only a servant. Fix It Up had himself announced at the royal court, where he endeavoured to make a good impression, and caught the princess. "My son," said the king, "many such suitors have already been turned away because they couldn't perform the tasks I assigned them to win my daughter." "All right," said Fix It Up. "Set any kind of hard task that you want me to do. I've ordered 1/4 of a litre of poppy seeds to be sown in a field. If you can gather them so that not one kernel is missing, you shall have the princess for your wife." "Ho ho," Fix It Up thought. "That's not much for me." He then took a measuring cup, a sack, and snow-white sheets, went out and spread the sheets next to the field where the seeds had been sown. Soon after, those birds whose singing he had left undisturbed in the forest arrived, and they picked up the seeds, kernel after kernel, and carried them to the white sheets. When the birds had picked all of them, Fix It Up poured them into the sack, took the measuring cup under his arm, and went to the king and measured out the poppy seeds for him. Now he thought the princess was already his, but he was wrong. "One thing more, my son," said the king. "My daughter has recently lost her golden ring. You must return it to me before you can have her." Fix It Up did not get upset. "Let your majesty show me the river and bridge where the ring was lost. Then I shall soon return it to you." When Fix It Up was brought there, he looked down and he saw the fish that he had thrown into the river. It stuck its head out into the air and said, "Wait a moment, I'll dive below. A whale has the ring under its fin, and I'll fetch it." Indeed, the fish soon returned and tossed the ring onto the shore. Fix It Up brought it to the king, but the latter replied, "Now just one more thing. There's a unicorn in the forest, and it's been causing a great deal of damage. If you can kill it, there's nothing more you'll have to do." Fix It Up did not get very upset here either. Instead, he went straight into the forest. He came across the ravens whom he had once fed. "Just a little more patience," they said. "The unicorn is lying down and sleeping, but is not on the side where you can see its eye. When it turns over, will peck out its good eye, then it'll be blind and run furiously against trees and get itself stuck with its horn, and then you'll be able to kill it easily. Soon the beast tossed itself around a few times and lay on its other side. All at once the raven swooped down and pecked out its good eye. When it felt the pain, it jumped up and ran wildly around the forest. After it got its horns stuck in a thick oak tree, Fix-It-Up jumped out, cut off its head, and brought it to the king, who could no longer deny him his daughter. She was delivered to Fix-It-Up, who took a seat next to her in the coach. He was in full dress, just as he had come, and immediately drove off and brought the lovely princess to his lord. Fix-It-Up was given a fine reception, and the lord's wedding with the princess was celebrated in great splendour. Then Fix-It-Up was appointed Prime Minister. Everyone in the company to whom this tale was told wished that they'd been at the celebration. One wanted to be a chambermaid, the other wardrobe attendant, some wanted to be a chamber servant, the other the cook, and so on. Thanks for listening.